All right, morning everyone. Today is Thursday, August 14th. This is our lesson 13 of our class. Let's get on it now. A few messages, something that I mentioned earlier from experience. There has been a delay in the delivery of midterm report cards due to an issue with our blah, 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 blah. Just try again today. This is Wednesday, August 13th at 3 p.m. So I don't know if that's true or not, but try today. I got another email saying that I think today should be working. So check your midterm report cards again. Go back to the instructions here. Log in to AW, click on mail, figure it out. All right, that being said, let's continue. What's going on here? Today is, once again, Thursday, August 14th. Today's the last day of classes, lessons, you could say. After this is just review. So we're going to learn about these 4 lessons here, and you have your last and final assignments. That will be due tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. That's it. So if everything needs to be done by 11:59 p.m. tomorrow, all the assignments, all the quizzes, well, the quizzes were done on Thursday, August 14th, so that you have until tonight for that. But yeah, question? If there's no questions, awesome. So the course is almost officially over. Yeah, let's get started now. Today's lesson is going to be on applications of interest. Yes. So Ashank has a question about the assignments. All right, so make sure you do both of the assignments. You still have time to do the first one. It's due tonight. And then the next one is due tomorrow. You have access to both of them today if you want to do both of them today. All right, today's agenda, minds on activity, learning goals, investing, saving, credit cards, vehicle ownership, today's work, and questions. All right, minds on to the moon. All right, we're going to describe different ways to invest money, compare and contrast credit and debit cards, and then describe the different ways to own a vehicle. We're going to describe some saving accounts, some stocks, mutual funds, and GICs, describe credit and debit cards, investing money, using money to make money. So you have to have money first. Otherwise, it doesn't work. When investing money, it's important to consider risk and return. Risk refers to the safety of the investment. Some investments are guaranteed to generate income from an investment, but there are also investments where there is a chance the investment may decrease in value. Return refers to how much the investment will potentially increase. So here's a general rule. Low risk equals low return. High risk equals high return. Investing money. Savings accounts are set up by banks or credit unions. You have fast access to your money, and the value will not go down. But the interest gain is very low. Investing money. Stocks are shares in a company or corporation. They are high risk as the value of the stock fluctuates with the performance of the company. Because of this, they offer the chance for a high rate of return. A guaranteed investment certificate is a safe and secure investment with very little risk. You deposit money into it and earn interest on that money. You need to leave your money in a GIC account for a specified period of time. Mutual funds are a type of investment made up of a pool of money collected from many investors to invest in securities such as stocks, bonds, money market instruments, and other assets. As they are diversified, risk is lower, as is potential return. All right, now we're moving on to credit and debit cards. How should we spend money? Debit cards. A debit card provides access to a bank account. It can be used at an automatic teller machine to withdraw cash or at retail stores to make purchases. Every time a debit card is used, the money is immediately deducted from the bank account with which the card is associated. I think most of you should have a debit card by now. If not, you should probably go to a bank and open up an account. It's free for, I think, students and people under 18. But I think even if you're a student, it might be free. Debit cards. Since the card is associated with a bank account, there are often restrictions on how much it can be used. Some accounts provide an unlimited number of debit card transactions, while others charge a fee every time the card is used. A lack of understanding of debit card fees can result in unnecessarily high fees each month. Important stuff. Credit cards. A credit card allows the cardholder to receive cash or to pay for purchases without having the money taken from your account at the time of the transaction. When a credit card is used, money is being borrowed from the company that issues the credit card. Credit cards make it extremely easy to purchase items for which we do not presently have the money. May result in financial difficulties for the cardholder if the credit card charges cannot be paid off. If the credit card charges are paid off in full each month, the credit card can be extremely beneficial tool. Advantages of credit cards. Act as a temporary loan for items. Easier to carry than a lot of cash. Can use in many different countries. Record of purchases. Protection of purchases. Build credit rating. Discounts at stores, air miles, etc. Useful in case of emergencies. Can make purchases over the internet. Pretty sure you can make purchases over the internet with a debit card as well, but I may be wrong about that. Disadvantages of credit cards. High interest rates if balance is not paid in full. Encourages impulse buying. Dangers of credit card fraud. Easy to lose track of how much money you are spending. And have to be approved for a credit card. So not everyone can have a credit card. You have to be approved. Car ownership. What are my options? Buying a new car. Let's see. We got advantages such as full factory warranty. You're the first owner. You got a lower finance rate. Choice of color and options. No mileage limits. And you build equity as payments are made. Disadvantages can be higher monthly payments, large amount of depreciation in the first few years. Higher insurance rates usually requires a down payment. That's not 100% true. I remember when I first bought my car, it was possible to have a zero down payment. So that's why it says usually. All right, buying a used car. What are some pros and cons? Well, some advantages are usually a used car is a lower price. Someone else has paid for most of the depreciation to the vehicle. Cheaper insurance. Pay less for an earlier model with the same features. Disadvantages. Might not have much left on the warranty. Finance rates tend to be higher. Car may not have been well maintained by the previous owners, and parts are old. So, depending on if you get a good deal or not, sometimes if you get a used car, you can get an amazing deal, get a nice brand new looking car for cheap. Or other times you get a used car and you know what, there's something wrong with it, and you probably spend more money fixing it than that's worth the hassle. So yeah. And then there's leasing a car. This is an option as well. So what is leasing a car? Leasing a car is when you are having, some pros and cons. So you have lower monthly payments, can trade in after a short time. Warranty is usually in place for the entire lease term. Large down payment is not required. Can get a more expensive vehicle with the same new payment as a new vehicle. Disadvantage. At the end of the contract, there isn't any equity. You don't own anything. Your charge for each kilometer over the contract can be very expensive. You're required to purchase the highest insurance level and still responsible for wear and tear of the vehicle. So leasing a car is kind of like renting a car. That's essentially what it is. When you rent something, you just rent it for the time that you're using it. Like if you rent a hotel, you're using the hotel room. And then when you check out, you leave and the hotel, goes back to the hotel room. But the hotel room rather goes back to the hotel. Anyways, so just like when you're renting a car, you're leasing a car, once you're done with the car, you have a contract usually. When it comes to leasing a car, you can either lease it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe, some middle time, maybe 18 months, whatever. You negotiate however long you need to lease a car for. And then once you're done, you return the car and that's it, move on. So there's some advantages to leasing a car as, listed here. But that's what leasing a car is. Essentially, you're renting a car. All right, recap. You can describe different ways to invest money, compare and contrast credit and debit cards, and describe the different ways to own a vehicle. All right, you should be working on all of this stuff here. All the assignments are due. Today was a pretty short lesson, so we'll probably do a little bit of review as well today. But before that, let's go here and let's see what they have to say. All right, what is a credit card? What is the difference between a debit card and a credit card? So a debit card is a small plastic card issued to you by your bank. It allows you to withdraw funds electronically from your checking account and make purchases. When you use a debit card, you are accessing your own money you pay for goods and services. Credit card, similar appearance to a debit card, so still a small plastic card. It's issued to you by a financial institution or retailer who acts as a lender. When you use a credit card, you are borrowing money from the financial institution or retailer to pay for goods and services. You're taking out a loan that must be paid back at a future date. What are some advantages and disadvantages of using a debit card for small purchases, for large purchases, and what are some advantages and disadvantages for credit cards for small and large purchases? That's why we can move on to that. Let's see. What are some advantages for consumers? Let's see. All right, so this is some stuff that you can do. Card comparison chart. So you have name of card, student infinite gold card, let's say, ABC Bank. This is just an example, it's not true. Annual fee, interest, liability, accepted worldwide. And then there's some rewards and whatnot, retailers. So you can compare credit cards. Very important to do that when you're applying for a credit card. All right, let's do this. What is the difference between the charity affinity, reward point donating, and hybrid types of credit cards? Let's see. With charity affinity cards, the consumer makes purchases as usual. The card issuer automatically donates a certain percentage to a single specified charity. Consumers should find out the rate at which donations are made. With cards that allow you to donate your reward points, cardholders can choose from participating charitable organizations and can usually specify how many points to donate. And hybrid cards provide automated donations from the card issuer and allow card reward points contributions. So in case sometimes credit cards, if you want to use your points instead of using them on yourself for buying stuff, you can use it, to donate the points. Where should you verify the charitable status of any organization to which you choose to donate? Canada Revenue Agency, CRA. So if you go to the CRA website, you can check to see if, these credit cards are actually,